Hello, in this video I'm going to solve the following problem for you on the topic of algebraic inequalities. Determine the solution set of the following inequality: x over 2 greater than or equal to 1 plus 4 over x. Pause the video at this point and give it a try. On the next slide I will show you the final answer to the problem. The final answer to the problem is as you see on the slide. If this is not your answer, pause the video again and give it a second try. Okay, in order to solve this inequality, the first thing we need to do, as we learned during the lesson, is to move everything to the left-hand side. So we will have x over 2. I move 1 to the left side, which will be minus 1, and I also move 4 over x to the left side, so it becomes minus 4 over x, and it's greater than or equal to 0. And now I will try to make the left-hand side as an expression which is only consists of multiplication and division. So to do this, I take the common denominator between all these three terms, which is simply 2x. And then I compare 2x with 2. I see I have an extra x. An extra x will be multiplied here, so it gives me x squared. And the next term similarly becomes minus 2x. And finally the next term will be minus 8, because when I compare this one with that one, I will have an extra 2, and that extra 2 will be multiplied here, and I have a minus sign. And then I have it's greater than or equal to 0. Okay? So now I factorize the numerator. So this is a very standard problem that you have learned during your high school studies. So I need two x's. I ask myself, are there two integers whose sum is minus 2 and the product is minus 8? And then it is simply found. So one of them is minus 4, the other one is plus 2. Yes? Double check always. So if I add minus 4 to plus 2, I get minus 2, so that's correct. If I multiply minus 4 by plus 2, it becomes minus 8. That's also correct. And now divided by 2x greater than or equal to 0. Now you see that this inequality is equivalent to this inequality. So this means that instead of solving this inequality, I focus on solving this inequality. And according to what we learned during the lesson, I will construct the sign table. So in order to do that, I need the zeros of all the factors involved. There are 3 factors involved in this problem: x minus 4, x plus 2, and 2x. So I will put x minus 4 equals to 0, and then I get, of course, x equals to 4, and then I have x plus 2 equals 0. Then I get x equals to minus 2, and then I put 2x equals to 0, and I get x equals to 0. So I have 3 roots that I have to take care of. So then I will construct my sign table. So the first row of my table is x. Potentially x goes from minus infinity to plus infinity. Plus infinity, and the numbers that I have, I arrange them in the order, in ascending order. So the first one on the left is minus 2, then 0, then 4. Okay, so I will put minus 2 here, and then I put 0, and then I put 4. And then I will have 3 rows for my factors. One factor is x minus 4. The other factor is x plus 2, and the final factor is 2x, and the last row is for the expression itself for simplicity. So if you don't mind, let me give this expression a name. So let me call it e. Okay, so I will write e here for simplicity, and then I will have my vertical lines here, here, and here. Okay, so now the question is, what happens for x minus 4? X minus 4 becomes 0 on this line. So I put a 0 here. But on the left hand side of this, what does it mean? It means that if x is less than 4, definitely x minus 4 becomes negative. So this expression is negative here, negative here, negative here. But as soon as x becomes greater than 4, because you see on the right hand side I have greater than 4, so this one becomes positive, yes? So for the other ones, I will do the same. So x plus 2 is 0 here. So this means that if I choose x to be less than minus 2, x plus 2 definitely becomes negative. But if x is greater than minus 2, it becomes positive. And 2x becomes 0 on this line. And of course, if x is less than 0, 2x becomes negative. And if x is greater than 0, 2x becomes positive. Okay? But now we want to find the sign of this expression. So this expression is the product of these two expressions divided by this expression. Okay? So for example, if x is less than minus 2 here, I see that all these expressions are negative. So this is negative, this is negative, and this is negative. So when I multiply these two negative values, it becomes positive, and when divided by negative, it becomes negative. So it becomes negative, and then here I have 2 negative, 1 positive, so the final answer will be positive. The next one will be 2 positives and 1 negative, so it becomes negative, and finally the last one is also positive. But now what is important for us is to see what happens on these lines for E. Okay, on this line, x is minus 2. If x is minus 2, then this expression becomes 0, the numerator becomes 0, but the denominator is not 0, so what happens is that the expression becomes 0 here as well. But on this line, here I have x equals to 0. If x equals to 0, the numerator is not 0, but the denominator is 0, and that expression is undefined. So let me write here undefined for short. And finally, for x equals to 4, again the numerator becomes 0, the denominator is not 0, so the expression is 0. But now the final step is to see that what I demand. I demand this expression, which I called it capital E, should be greater than or equal to 0. So this means that this is acceptable, this region is acceptable because the expression E is positive. This region is also acceptable because the expression is positive. And also this line is acceptable because the expression E is equal to 0. And this line is also acceptable. So what is this region? This region is between minus 2 and 0. So let me write it like this. If I just want to write the solution, so it would be between minus 2 and 0. Or here, this means that between 4 and infinity. So in other words, it means that x is greater than 4. But be careful, equality is also acceptable. So I choose this one because there is no problem here, and I can choose this one as well, but I'm not allowed to put equality on 0 because on 0 the expression E is undefined. But because the problem is demanding the solution set, the solution set should be written as a set in mathematics. Yes, solution set. So I will use the interval notation. So it will go from minus 2 up to 0, but 0 is excluded, minus 2 is included, or means union. X is equal to 4 and above. Okay, so this means that I start from 4 up to infinity. So that will be the solution set of this problem. I hope that the video was useful for you. Until the next video, be safe and goodbye. Thank you.